Attorney Jacqueline McGee, item B. Please, we would like to proceed with the presentation regarding abandoned property.
Did you want me to just have it? Sure.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I apologize for my tardiness today, but I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Okay. I would like to thank our attorney. Well, I'd like to thank attorney Ms. Jacqueline McGee for joining us today. A few months ago, we had our very first housing committee meeting. We will be holding them quarterly. During the committee meeting and over the last few months, a lot of the residents' concerns have been regarding the eyesores in our village, right? So I am aware of that. On the housing committee, what we decided to do is we are bringing in Ms. McGee so she can come and tell us about a housing program that may work for the village. So this is one of the processes that we're considering or at the moment, and we'd like to have the residents hear her out so that the residents can be part of the process also regarding moving forward.
Thank you, Trustee. So the program is called the Abandoned Property Acquisition Program, or the APAT program. It's a program that some of the south suburbs use. The program is used to acquire abandoned, vacant, boarded up homes and get them back on the tax rolls, get them back into a habitable condition. It's done by any applicant, whether it's a resident of Dolton or somebody outside of Dolton, comes forward to the village and puts up what's called an escrow. That escrow amount is something that's determined by ordinance, so it will be a fixed amount. And then the village then takes that property through the circuit court proceedings to get ownership of the property. Now, from just listening to the meeting here, I think that you're going to love this part. Doesn't cost a penny from the village. All of the money that is used to take this through the circuit court, all of the money comes out of the escrow that the applicant put up. So once the village gets the ownership of the property, they get all the back taxes abated, and then they transfer it over to the applicant, whoever it is that applied for that property. The applicant then has 60 days to bring the property up into habitable condition. At that point, they can sell the property, they can rent the property, or they can live in the property, however they want to go about it. This also includes any commercial property, any vacant land, or the residential homes. I think that is the very basic idea of the program. I think the most amazing part of the program is it gets these properties back on the tax rolls, it gets them back into the community, and it's at no cost to the village.
I'll open for questions from the board.
I have a couple of questions.
Is that Trustee Belcher?
Yes.
Okay.
You said that they will put up an escrow. We would abate the taxes. So how is the application process? Like, would Dolton residents be first to obtain properties? How is the application process?
So it is a first come, first serve basis. And also the other thing that I should point out is that it's the applicant's duty to go out and find properties that may qualify for the program. There's three different three different things that the property would need to qualify for. It's up to them to go out and find the property. So if you're talking about Dolton residents, especially residents that have been here for a long time, they're going to know the properties a lot better than somebody coming from way up north that's not familiar with the village.
So how do you get paid?
Out of the escrow that the people put up.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just asking.
No, it's a good it's a good question.
Okay.
There's a very minimal cost to just start up the program, and that's simply drafting the ordinances, the forms, the applications, things like that. It's a very minimal cost, but anything after that comes out of the escrows.
And will the board be able to see these so we kind of, anybody that has lived here for a while, we kind of know what properties are
Sure.
abandoned, which have been deteriorating for years or whatever. But would it just be like a list of properties that we would see price, and I'll just use an example of somebody in the audience, Mr. Lee, say, hey, this property 3 doors down from me has been vacant for 9-10 years. and I want to know if it qualifies or something like that. I
That
guess
is
that's-
exactly how it would be. But just so that you know, and this is a way to kind of make sure that these properties, once we convey them to the applicants, are able to get rehabbed. At the beginning of the application process, the applicant will have to show proof of funds, usually to fix 50 to 60,000, knowing that once we transfer the property to them, that they do have the financial stability to be able to make the repairs and get it back on the tax rolls. And then they will also have to show the proof of funds at the time of transfer as well. So to answer your question, any resident, I think, did you say Mr. Lee?
Mhm.
Mr. Lee is more than welcome to, oh, is that Mr. Lee there?
You got it, Mr. Lee, you got it.
Yeah, is more than welcome to apply. And you know what, as long as he has the financial backing to do it and he's got the gumption to do it, why not? You know, it's an amazing program to where residents not only can get properties back on the tax rolls next door to them that their extended family can live in, or it's a rental property where they live right next door, so they're keeping an eye on it 24/7, or they're selling it and they're not only bettering the community, they're making a profit.
Question. Turn your mic on. You said it was different questions that they would have to be to qualify, say proof of funds.
Yeah.
What else?
So the legal criteria in order for the village to obtain these properties is, one, it has to be abandoned. Okay, we can assume if they're boarded up, they're abandoned. Number two, they're dangerous and unsafe. If they're boarded up, they're going to be dangerous and unsafe. And then the third is a two-prong. It's an or. So either it has to be tax delinquent for 2 or more years, or it has to have an outstanding water balance for 2 or more years. Pretty much narrows it down, doesn't it? And again, you know, I'm just, again, pointing out, the gentleman from Rutgers, was it Rutgers, right? Properties like that are commercial, industrial, vacant properties, you know, they want to put the money in, whatever that escrow is, the board and the mayor determines it is. He could get a new gym for $15,000 as long as he brings it up to code and gets it habitable within 6 to 9 months. It's his. And the other thing too with the commercial properties is the thing that's holding a lot of these properties back is they're so encumbered with taxes because it's, you know, 10 years of $20,000 a year taxes.
So can we make criteria, like, is it your standard criteria or can we make
No,
criteria?
no. So just so you know, I didn't want to jump
Okay,
in
trustee.
while she was talking, but just so you know, Trustee Belcher, and just because I know you all may have other questions also. So for the most part, and that's why I didn't really send you all any paperwork today, because I wanted her to be able to present, because you all may have the same questions that the residents have, I'm sure. But overall, Trustee Belcher, we will decide in regards to the escrow. We will, as a village and the
Yes.
board, we would just put certain things into play. This is just the program that she has. She's just giving us the blueprint, but it's up to us as the board to decide how we want things and what we want, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Absolutely.
Let's go, Trustee
So,
Kane. Well, let-
so in
well,
other words, we will design our own program, correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Question I got is, you said if somebody goes and finds a property, what if, I mean, and everybody's not, maybe real estate investors are looking to buy another house, but what if that's that property on my block that I've been trying to get, that's been vacant for a long time, but if there's nobody to buy it, there's nothing we can do about it? Because you say somebody has to find the property and then have to say, I want this property. But what if there's a property that nobody wants, that's empty, that needs to get put back on the tax roll or some way, somehow? How do we handle that?
I've
you
been
understand my
working in this, absolutely. And I can tell you that I've been working in this program, golly, I don't know, 5 years now, for several different municipalities, and can't recall a single property that's come up. There has been a property, I take it back to where it was so structurally unsound that the municipality would not let it be rehabbed. But you have investors all over the place that are willing to pay $10,000, $15,000
Mhm.
for a structure to rehab that they dump 70 into and they sell for 200. So is it possible? What are your options then? The village could still pay out of their own pocket to get the property and then maybe rehab it on their own. Or I know other municipalities have charities that can come in and rehab the properties.
So you said we will market it to, if you're looking for an abandoned property in Dolton, come to this program. That's how it will be marketed.
And I can assure you, trustee, you're not gonna have to market hard.
And just so you know, Trustee Steves, because I think Trustee Belcher asked,
Oh, did you say Steve? Did you say Steve? Did you put an S on the end of my name? Did you say Steve?
I said Steve.
I heard it too.
So, just so
I'm
you know,
traumatized by that. I'm
Trustee
traumatized by that.
Steves,
Steve.
that Trustee Belcher asked, also, because I see you all kind of had a similar question, and it's for the residents also. In regards to our housing program, there's going to be a different components. So this is just one component. As you all know, a few years ago, we tried to bring in the South Suburban Land Bank as a additional component also. So this is just the start. Over time, we'll see, we're just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And to add to that, as a village, she and I discussed, as we'll provide her with a list. So we've already had the village administrator, we have them in the housing working on the abandoned homes as a collective, just a list so that we'll have more inventory. And then once they submit that, we submit the inventory to her, that'll be an add-on. So for the most part, the residents finding a home is just like an added bonus, right? First person, early bird gets the worm. But we will be sending her some also. But we'll all decided as a board, just so you all know.
Question for you also. What other municipalities are you in with this program is in?
So it's been in Chicago. It
Nice.
started in Chicago Heights.
Okay.
And it's been there, I believe, 8 years now, possibly 7 years. And I want to say it's close to 200 homes
Okay.
that they have got back on the tax rolls that have been rehabbed and now have certificate of occupancies. It's been a huge success there. Burnham, Glenwood is actually starting it. Lansing has been looking into it. I think that was
Okay.
all. Sorry.
And this will be a contract with you, correct? Will we be entering a contract?
Yeah.
Is it an amount of years or how does it work?
We
can
could work
cancel
on that
anytime?
separate. Yeah, we
Okay.
can work on it separate.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I have another question.
Okay, trustee.
So will we be able, because I heard Trustee Norwood said, so it's our program. So we would build the ordinance of how this is gonna be implemented before it gets to you?
We'll do it together.
I'll answer. My suggestion would be that we'll build an ordinance or build the documentation, bring it to not this October board meeting, but the following committee of the whole. So that way we'll have an opportunity for everybody to see what the ordinance and the program would look like. And then should that be acceptable at that time, move it to the November agenda.
Look it. Yep, that makes sense.
Any additional questions, from trustees? Yeah, Trustee Tam?
60 days or 6 to 9 months, where they have the time to at least bring it up to code.
So
We'll
again,
decide.
that's something, yeah, that the board gets to decide. I can tell you in Chicago Heights, it's 1 year. Within the first 30 days, you have to pull permits, you have to begin work, and you have to actually actively start working on it. But you do have 1 year to get your certificate of occupancy. And I can tell you that the municipalities work with investors, especially if we have a bad winter to where they can't do the roofing or they can't do the cement, as long as first of all, as long as you're keeping the outside looking good, you got the boards off the windows, you got windows in the windows, the municipality is going to stay off your back as long as you're moving along.
Trustee Belcher?
I just have one concern because it sounds like an amazing program. My issue is just that, and maybe it's because it relates to me, that this program starts and investors get it. They're not living here, so they're going to either send it to somebody that is going to buy it and rent it out, and then this influx of renters, or making it another halfway house. So that's why I keep asking about us putting the ordinance together, because if it is, yes, we would love for it to be on the tax roll, but I think that we should implement something as if they're buying and they need to stay in it for 5 years or something, because just getting the house and flipping it, and then I got 12 renters next to me,
Yep.
not discouraging any renters or anything, but I'm just saying for me, because I have a halfway house across the street from me, which I consider a problem, that we make sure that we just put the ordinance together where it reflects what our community wants to
Absolutely.
look like.
Yeah, I
And
completely
just so
agree.
you know, Trustee Belcher, so Agee and I did discuss that because that was a concern of mine also. But that's why we're going to have different components, because it is extremely important that regarding the program as a whole, Dolton residents have some type of first dibs in regards to the housing in the community that they live in. So this, when I say that this is just one of the components, this literally is just one of the components, just so that we can get started. But as the board, I did want her, and I didn't even send you all any information because you all are residents also. So I figured this way, she can kind of just start from scratch, kind of how she gave me the information, and you all can ask those questions. But we will have a housing committee meeting coming up also within the next few months. So during the housing committee, residents, please join us if you all have any questions and concerns. But just know this is an idea of a start. We want to ultimately have different parts of the program so that everyone can benefit, because we do understand that. And Mr. McGee said it to me. She said we can set the limits where one person can only buy 2 houses, or so whatever we decide, we tell her, and then she'll put it all together for us prior to moving forward.
Yeah, and in that point, otherwise you're going to get the big investors that are just going to swoop in because they have the cash flow and they have the proof of funds. So if you limit it to per applicant, or however you guys want to do it, that's absolutely something that's adjustable.
And that's the good thing. We get a chance to structure this here
Oh, absolutely.
ordinance, so it's in our hands. So.
Yep. And I'll go to all board members individually. I know we have our housing committee chairs, so I've kind of been speaking with them already, filling them in, but I'll individually go to board members. I just wanted her to present first because I figured you all will have more questions afterwards. And then from there, we'll kind of just start moving forward.
Any additional questions at this time? Well, hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Ms. McGee, for your time. We truly appreciate you coming out.